Welcome back, welcome back. So, I'm watching a video from last year, August, in the summertime I made about how women, single women, and men that don't work and just live off the system put a strain on the economy. And due to their lack of knowledge, their time will come and it's not going to be pretty. Now we're a year later, and Somalians in I believe Minnesota, they're getting their nigger moment. Just like the Latinos and all the others, like Trump said that he was going to get rid of a lot of criminals, a lot of people that are using the system. At first, I didn't understand what that meant, and I made a video about it though, and never let it out, and I just put it out today because of all the things that have happened. Because now all the American people are looking at every dollar that's spent and how certain people are literally being taken care of because you go to work every day. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. It's literally in the Bible, you know, take care of the widows and the homeless. But it's Jesus was a fisher of men. So that would mean his father is a fisher of men. And Jesus said, I'm going to give you a fishing pole. I'm going to teach you how to fish so I don't have to be your fucking master. I'm not going to keep feeding you. You're going to get the fuck up and you're going to go you're going to go fish. You're not going to have an excuse. You're going to learn how to build your own life and not depend on others. So that day that they, just want to stop giving to you, now you have to face death, homelessness, poverty. You get it? For whatever reason. Now, a lot of what's going to happen, because it's not a prediction, it's mathematics, and it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It could have been everyone's just living on a shit and can't find work, and war, and spending and inflation and all these things go up so high that that system won't remain. It can't remain. They have to lower everything. They can't give you as much, or they have to take people off. It's the nature of since it came out. It's not something that actually was in existence forever. So if you look at back in the day and you look at the wars and the things that happened in America, and then they cut people off and they had to fend for themselves for like a couple of years, Great Depression, a lot of people went bye-bye because they won't work. And when the depression hits, you can't work. There ain't no jobs. So you only can rely on people then. And those people would have to want to give a fuck. Most people don't give a fuck about people, and since the word of the Lord is still taught, then those people will care. But you people, you mock us, you know, until your daddy doesn't give you your check anymore, and then you want to talk to us and our daddy. You won't believe then. Anyway, this is not what this video is about. Now that these videos are gonna circulate and people are gonna think and have awareness, I wanted to bring up another topic before I get off topic. In the Bible, it says the Lord says when you get divorced that the children should go with the man. I understand, ladies. You're triggered. As soon as I said that, you're like, oh, fuck all of that. They my kids. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But my father didn't say that to be a chauvinist. He doesn't say that because men are all fucking mighty and great, and no, it's for the simple fact of the man is the provider, and he made your brain to choose men that can provide. Get it? So if you're not the provider, then why would the children go with the person that's not going to be providing? Like, it kind of makes sense to put the burden. See, listening to the world and getting your trinket, your little treat of your welfares. You get it? You're in someone else's pocket, other men. You're gonna stay in that other man's pocket for child support. You know? Which rightfully so. You should pay for your child as a man. But then you're gonna get the assistance, and if you don't learn to work, well, because you're getting a jackpot, because you have another man. So the government is giving you other men's money. The man you had a baby with gives you money, and now you have a new man that gives you money on top of yours. Have a scheme, a fucking job or something. So you're moving. You're making moves without even moving. You're collecting checks without even making a move. But if you tally up all that money and then you actually raising those kids and how it's not turning out the way you want, and how much stress and how much burden it has actually put on your life. Now, I'm not saying you don't love your kids or children are just a problem. They're curses. No, they're expensive. They're annoying. They want things. They don't know anything, so they always have that fucking question, why? And what? What is that? Why is that? What? Why? That gets annoying after a while. So, like, I used to be a kid, so I know how annoying I could be. And as my father gave me the life path of being around women and seeing women's events and all this shit, I just keep having to see the inner shit, the crying, the same old complaining. It's so hard. Men don't understand how hard it is to raise these kids by ourselves. And we're sitting there looking at you. We're like, no, we do know. We're watching you. And our mother was you. So we know. We listen to her cry at night. We listened to her lies and her make-believe and then grew up in the real world and said, nah, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're lost. We know. This isn't the first generation. You get it? So men do know. And then even if we wasn't born and raised in the madness, we watch yous. We grow up with yous. You have a pregnancy at 15, everyone hears about it in town, and we watch you grow up and how hard it is. We watch, we know. We may not see every day. You may not know we're watching, but people are watching. We're all watching each other. Judging. Learning. Or just wondering. Now, it never has occurred to women that maybe the Bible was right, and maybe, because, alright, I could be completely wrong. Some men are not good fathers, and I get that. They should be with the women. But when I hear women that are not coming from super abuse or whatever, you just chose the wrong person, you're not a good family, you choose not to be together. That's more of a overwhelming number than, you know, it was such a nightmare. It was, you're not compatible, he's fucking somebody else, or she's fucking somebody else, or he's a little angry, you are not compatible. Some people put hands on each other, but it never ceases to fail me to see how much women see their life change. And they always say the same thing: I don't have enough time. I want to go back to school. I want to go do this. I want to go get a better job, but I can't because I don't have time. I have to watch my kid. Nobody's there. If the man had the children, you would have time to better your life and become this I don't listen to men. I don't need the laws of God. I don't need none of that. We're gonna run over here. We're not cave women. I want to live this life this way, and that's hey, do what you want, you know. But why put the burden on yourself of stopping yourself from being free by not just giving the especially the fathers that want the children and they have decent jobs? It makes no sense. Your children just get less and less and less. They don't see you. You don't have time to raise them. Or you actually do, getting all those checks, but it's the evidence of single, like, not all of you, but you know, you're statistically proven it's not looking good out there. If you paying attention to your child and giving him the bare minimum of your knowledge, it's, you know, like common sense shit, like swindlers, and look out for the harlot women that are do this. Don't pick a fucking woman you don't want to be with. Like, you know what I mean? If yous are actually doing that, these birth rates at a wedlock and or compatibility relationships, you may not get married but stay together then get married. At least that would grow more. If yous were telling your kids, don't follow my footsteps, you know? And then I don't understand how you reject that law of God so much when it actually benefits you on two things that you complain about the most. I can't build my life. I love my kid. I don't want to get rid of them, but I'm going to be a bum. I'm going to work hard at this shitty ass job because I can't get any better because I have to be there. Well, if the father had it, they already have a decent job. You can go get your education up and you can see your kids. And then, since you're definitely not going to be with the baby's father and you want a new man, most men don't want to raise another man's kid because, one, if you leave me, I can't, they're not mine. That's when the laws of God don't apply. Those go with you because I didn't birth those kids. That's when the worldly shit play makes sense. Like, no, you're not getting her kids. They're her fucking kids. You get it? And but if you gave their kids to the biological father, then wouldn't you be more eligible for majority of men because they don't have to take on the responsibility of raising your kids? They're just picking you. And it makes it easier for a man to pick a woman that's by herself. Like, that's what got you picked by your baby's father. You know, you didn't have kids. Now, technically, you'll still have kids, but they won't be there. The problem of, I can't let no man come to my house. See, shit, I got kids. Well, if you didn't have kids and your kids were with their father that actually take care of them, well, you would never have that problem. You'd be able to go on dates. You'd be able to fucking have a man over. And, you know, a lot of women I've heard lost good men just because of their kids. Not that the kids were the problem and, oh, they're automatically bad. No, I can't spend time with you. I gotta see this nigga's face. I gotta think about you still fucking him because yous are tied. All these little levels, because there are different levels to it. All those things don't happen at once. Some women are still fucking their baby's daddy because, you know, he's gonna be there. You know, he hasn't settled down yet. Some people are just you don't get to raise the kids. They're not your kids. You can't actually be a dad because their dad's still in their life, so you can't cross boundaries, and now you gotta have a weird relationship where like on the weekends you gotta leave or some shit. When he comes over, you gotta fucking stay upstairs. You know what I mean? Goofy shit. Like, I'm going out. You know what I mean? Those things would never even be an issue because you would be going over to your ex baby daddy's house to go see the kids, and more than likely he'd be like, it's my house. You could bring your man, but he better like stay in place. And as rightfully so, a man would know extra. Not only am I in this man's house, but those are this man's kids. I'm gonna be on my best behavior, chill. You know what I mean? I doubt I never go over there, some men, but in a good world, men actually can respect their not wife, the woman they didn't choose to marry and stay with. They can respect them going off and finding another man. It doesn't bother them. They're like, like a lot of other boys get mad and say, no, that's mine forever, while I slam dance and have kids with these other women. It's like Pokemon. I'm collecting. They're all mine and I won't take care of, but they're mine. Don't touch them. You niggas is pathetic. Seriously, ladies, I understand the bond women must have with children. It is very great. They grow inside you and you carry them and you nurse them and you play a very big part. A man like me only had his mother, and my mom was kind of very vicious. Only person in my childhood I could say I had an enemy, and that's a sad thing. But I always loved my mother because a mother's love for a male is needed, like a father's love for a daughter is needed. Doesn't matter if you have two parents or not. Boys usually love their mother more, and daughters usually love their fathers more because the opposites attract. Like, you want your boy to be a strong man, so you're gonna pay attention to him. You should pay attention to him. You should be the first woman that tells him about harlot women and how special he is because he exists. And if he provides for himself, he can pick a better woman than just a woman that's there that likes him. No, he can pick a woman that's gonna want to love him because of what he can do and who he is. See, there's a difference, A lot of women don't realize how much power you actually have, and it sucks to let go. But I truly believe in some cases the father is right, that children should go with the men that provide and are already stable. Because a lot of women that I've seen, you can check the statistics, duh, I ain't gonna make this shit up. Most of the women are just on welfare, struggling. They get their little jobs, and respect to the real ones that work. I don't care if you're working at McDonald's, you going hard at that shit. You trying to get off welfare, or at least all it is to you is exactly what it is. It's assistance. It's not your life. It's not some like the shutdown could happen. You'll be like, well, all right, well, I guess I'm gonna have to tighten my belt. You're not gonna be thinking I'm about to lose my apartment now. I'm about to lose food, my apartment, and everything else. Because that's where I was getting it from the assistance. You still have a job, so you're gonna be like, ah, fuck, my kids ain't gonna get the great fruit snacks. We're not gonna have Christmas this year. Oh, they're gonna eat. Other people relied on that shit so bad that their children are getting adopted. Their children have to go with family members now. You get it? You get it? There's a big difference. Now, for the women that are stuck on that have a lack of knowledge, education, support, I don't lump you into that category of people that just abuse the system. You don't have education. You don't probably come from a rural town where there's no jobs. I understand. It's people that actually can use their able bodies. People that can find work and choose not to keep the jobs because they don't pay enough. Those are the people I'm talking about. You know? Like, most of my adult life, I've not got welfare. I just went without. You know? Learn how to survive off doing things. And not sinful things. I think a lot of people hate me for that. They think it's like a bragging right or something. No, it's called living a hard life. Living very, very hard. Going without. Understanding your true strength and nature and how long it takes to die. And saying, well, I got time. And I got strength. I have a body. I have a brain. I will find a way. I'll find a way back to my mountain. Even if it's a small one. You know, right now I'm living in a small mountain, little room. But it's a castle to me. It's mine. Earned. Paid for. With my money. Maintained off of my back. I set the rules in there. You know? Maybe not the building, but that's good enough for me. It's good to know that my father trained me and told me all those years ago, I'm your welfare. The people that believe onto me are your welfare. Learn to see who's who, and you'll never go without. You niggas don't know nothing about that. You go to church for the food. You go for a handout. You know, I've never in my life gone to a church and say, I need clothes and shit. No, people of the Lord are out there in the street. They're everywhere. You don't just, you know? There's a difference. Anyway, for some of you women with a hard life right now, you may have taken this video to offense, but I don't want you to. I want you to actually see the burden you put on your life and your children's lives when they could be having a better life, you know? Fathers are very needed, especially if he's experienced and, you know, not an ignorant ass nigga. You not having the time to be around and, you know, I doubt he's probably gonna have all the time in the world, you know? But doesn't it just make sense? I've seen so many women that do end up losing custody of their children be so sad. And I say to them, like, I can only imagine, because I don't have children, so, you know. But I've lost them. And, I always try to tell them like this is an opportunity for you to actually like rebuild your life and do the things you want to do. Life is perspective, you know. Unless you ruin the relationship between you and your father, the baby father, where you can't see your kids, well then you still got it good, you know. You may not be the head caretaker at the moment, but you, like I say about every situation, you're not the first and you won't be the last. And if this was back in my father's world, you wouldn't even be crying about things like that. Oh, my kids, I can't believe I gotta let that nigga get my kids. You'd be like, oh, thank God that the Lord made this a rule. I can pay my rent now. Holy shit, I can actually go get a job and I don't have to fucking struggle, cry at night when my kids are listening to me fucking cry my eyes out about how I can't take care of them and I'm scared. You know how many fucking, I was one of those kids. You know how fucking sad it is when you're like, yo, the leader of my household doesn't even know what they're doing. I gotta think I can get strong. I gotta get ready. This just me in this world, bro. Like, I gotta figure this shit out, cuz. They pump in their chest when they think I'm awake. They're rock solid. But when they think I'm sleeping, folding up in that room, folding, crying and shit. How your son gonna get strength off that? You know what I mean? Men be crying at the end of our what am I gonna do speeches. We go, fuck that, I'm gonna figure it out. Something. Y'all call a man and say, can you help me out? What's that make your son think he's gonna do when he call another man? No, you gotta go through it, dog. You gotta learn how to go without, homie. You ain't a woman. Get it? What does that breed into your daughter? All right, when mama gets in panic mode and there's no answers, just go ask other people. Now she doesn't know what you do on the side to get those things, so but she'll learn. She'll learn the hard way, just like you learned the hard way. You know, and the world convince you that it's all right, that these men aren't prostitutes, pimps, guys. They're, you know, each man they going on dates and all of this goof. This shit is goofy, bro. All this shit is goofy, and I understand why my father made it a certain way or said things should be a certain way. Because it brings ease to a lot of situations. It seems like this is why I love the Lord. The most powerful thing in the world doesn't just say, I will stay down there and I will fuck yous up until you listen to me. No, he says, go ahead, don't listen to me. You'll see later on I was right. That's it. You'll see I'm right. You'll learn. No one even needs the book. You just need people like me to remind you, yeah, my father wrote that down fucking thousands of years ago. You know he said not to do that, right? He said this is what happened to you is exactly what he said was gonna happen to you if you don't listen. You know? For like the feminized women that are like super femmed out. Well, fuck you, man. You can't take care of children. How do you think you got here? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, if men weren't good at raising children. Like, how did we get here in the future? Because we used to follow these realities. That's how we got here. Off the back of men. You know? I think it would be because a man that's a provider can easily pick another woman. I'm sure there's another woman that watched her have all those things, have a kid, then they broke up, and then she's like, what? She's gone? Oh, I'm going over there. I don't care if he has kids. I don't care. I'll just have one more. I only want one. You get it? And then they'll just be a family. It's that easy. Because women don't care about being around other women's kids. They don't give a fuck. They're like, oh well, I'm the wife now. You know what I mean? Women never, like, more women, a woman is not going to judge a man for having kids if he can successfully raise them and have the money to take care of the next woman. You know? Usually women, they take care of themselves now, so it's not like he has to take care of her. She has her own shit. She's just picking a man that has kids. What seems harder? A man that has kids with a job, obviously he's gonna, or a woman that, you picked the provider, you weren't the provider. So you having kids, men are flocking to women that don't have kids and marrying them and wifing them up by the droves. No, that's not what all the women are saying. Women are saying men are fucking us. Why won't you commit? I don't understand. Many different reasons. A lot of the reasons don't have to be bad. It doesn't have to be, oh, you're a whore, you have a baby daddy. No, I don't know if you even know how to have a family because you tried and you didn't, for some reason it didn't work. I don't want to judge you or him badly. It didn't work. I'll judge modestly. Then other reasons. Don't always have to be some negative bad things that are super. Does she even like men anymore after or does she have the outlook of the world? All men are the same. Is her brain broken? You know what I mean? So it's like we're gonna end it with all love and all praise to the Most High, and enjoy your time. Don't let the world beat you down so much. Things are different for people for reasons, so we can learn and experience the greatness of life. The thing that means the most, having life, what's more than that? The richest man in the world that's old right now wishes he had more life, not more money. He wishes he had more time because he knows how to get money. He ain't worrying about that. He can't create more years. He can't create the only thing that matters. Your time. So, start being happy. For whatever reason.